growth strategies that you have seen working right now?
Well, everyone's saying trends, and I think there's a way of doing it if you wanted. I do think trends are going to help you, but I don't think it should be your only strategy. I think the main thing that's going to help you grow, not only your account, but your business, is sharing your story. So showing up authentic, sharing your story that is going to be related to your ideal client.
If you are new to this channel, please support us by subscribing to our channel. And don't forget to turn on the bell. We publish it 3 times a week, incredible tutorials, interviews, strategies, and all sorts of things to help you to grow your business. Hello. So this episode is extra special. Not only do I have another beautiful guest, but today we are talking about one of my favorite platforms, which is Instagram, but a specific part of Instagram. And my guest, Katrina Le Bar, is going to be walking us through and just sharing her journey through exploding her business using Instagram Reels. Before we dive in, because I have a ton of questions, Katrina, can you please introduce yourself and then we jump right in?
Hi, my name is Katrina Le Bar. I am an Instagram and business coach. I teach business owners, service providers, and coaches how to grow on Instagram and also how to monetize, so build digital products and services to help them scale their business.
I love it. Thank you so much for being on the show. There are so many questions about Instagram because it is one of those platforms, Katrina, and I'm sure you would agree that it is ever changing. There are so many things that are new, and one of the biggest things is, which part of the platform should I use? But before we dive into questions on Instagram, I want to find out more about you. What made you become this Instagram and business coach? And who was Katrina Le Bar before then?
I've had quite the entrepreneurial journey. I actually used to be an event planner. I had my own event company. And then I realized I didn't want to be working 60 hours a week. So I went to another route, started social selling. And that is really what got me into the online space of selling through Instagram. And then I really found my passion for showing up and coaching people. And I kind of shifted and started doing business coaching. And I wanted to have my own thing and not be attached to some other brand. So I started learning the platform in and out for my business. And then I decided one day I should probably start teaching it since I've mastered this and learned how to grow my business through it. And Reels, when that started, previously to Reels, I wasn't really growing on the platform. I had a great following, but it was a challenge. Unless you had 100K followers, you weren't getting on the Explore page. You weren't getting discovered. So I'm so grateful that Instagram finally gave us a feature, Reels, where the smaller groups of people can actually get discovered. So that's really, thank you, finally. So that's really what exploded my profile. I started running with that feature. And again, you can grow your account, but are you monetizing with it as well? So I kind of figured out how to grow, but also how to target my ideal audience. And I ended up tripling my income. My business ended up exploding. And I am where I am today because of it.
Oh, wow. I love that. What I find so fascinating is how it's pretty much the power of social media. But the power isn't just in the platform. The power isn't, like you've said, it's in understanding how to use the platform, how to monetize it, etc. So let's start from the beginning. I want to cover 3 key things. The first is targeting your audience, then growing, then monetization. So let's talk about targeting your audience on Instagram. So let's say we have somebody who is, doesn't matter what they do. Let's say their thing is nails. Right? Let's choose a random business out there. Their thing is nails and, they want to target their ideal clients. What are some strategies for targeting your ideal people on Instagram that's working today?
Well, you want to create a desire around your offer. So you really want to figure out what is the need for what you are offering, your product or your service. And then really educating on the platform about that, but then creating that sense of community. So you want to show that yes, okay, the designs are great, but what kind of environment are you creating that is going to make me want to keep coming back and being a repeat customer? So you want to create that sense of community, show the desire for what you're offering, and then showcase like your clients, your design, show why we should come to you.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. Can I touch in a little bit more on creating that sense of community? Having spoken to so many different people, some teaching Instagram, and that's one thing that I haven't heard them really talk about. Can you elaborate more on that community aspect, the importance of it, first of all?
Yeah, well, if you offer a product or a service and you don't have a community, there's a good chance you're going to hear crickets when you put out your offer. So building that authentic, like that authority around what you do and building trust with your audience is really like what's going to help you create sales online. And I always say, like, if you want more sales, you got to build a community around what you do, because these are the people that believe in you. These are the people that trust in your brand messaging. So having that community is what's going to help you scale your business.
Absolutely. Still sticking with the topic of, so we're creating a community, but we're also targeting the right people, right? And of course, you work with a lot of small business owners, a lot of coaches like I work with as well. What is the best way to target your ideal clients on Instagram?
So you really want to figure out who exactly you're speaking to and not being so broad with like all my clients. The first thing we have to go through is everyone's like, no, I want to like target everybody, because what if I don't make the sale? But when you're speaking to everybody, you end up speaking to nobody. So you really want to figure out who exactly you are speaking to and what problem you can solve. So this is when I get into like niching down, like figuring out. So for myself, yeah, Instagram coach is great, but like how can I niche down a little bit further? And then Reels. So I help business owners scale and sell with Reels. So this is a specific thing that I have now niched down with. So if you're a business owner and you're struggling to sell with Reels, well, then I'm probably going to be your person to help you with that, rather than it being like a social media coach.
There you go. And this is the key. When you're casting your net wide, hoping to catch fish, because your net is so wide, you're going to be catching fish and crab and seaweed and all sorts of other things that you didn't want to catch. So I agree with you, 100% niching in.
Well, and then you're also competing with way more people in your industry.
Yeah, that's right. That's absolutely right. There's nothing about you that's helping you to stand out or anything like that. So yes, absolutely agreed. So we've talked about targeting. Now, let's imagine that somebody has targeted, or they understand their niche. They're in a micro niche, so they have done their homework. What about growing your audience? I really think that Instagram is one of those platforms that it's very good for business, but people can remain quite stagnant, while still working hard. What are some growth strategies that you have seen are working right now?
Well, everyone's saying trends, and I think there's a way of doing it if you wanted. I do think trends are going to help you, but I don't think it should be your only strategy. I think the main thing that's going to help you grow, not only your account, but your business, is sharing your story. So showing up authentic, sharing your story that is going to be related to your ideal client. That is going to help you grow more than anything. And I want my clients and everyone to be using their voice as well. So the best thing that's going to help you grow is speaking to the camera. So speaking directly to the camera, using your voice. And this is not going to help you get views or, go viral, but this is what's going to help you build connection, grow your following, and get sales. So it's the best way to build trust is by using your voice and not just doing every voiceover or trends that's happening.
So in terms of selling, what part of the platform would you find the best for monetization? Is it the stories? Is it Reels still for monetization? Or is it the link in your bio? What part is, would you say is, the top part where we should really focus,
Absolutely, your stories. So your stories are where all your biggest fans are. They're watching you because they are paying attention to all of your content. So everyone that's in there you've already warmed up. They're your warmed up customers that have already been on the journey, that are ready to listen and purchase whatever you're going to offer. So your stories are so important for you to show up and not only sell on there, but to also talk to your audience, connect with them, share behind the scenes. That's where you really build a connection with them. And then you can sell a ton on there. I always say sell like crazy in the stories, but also build connection and show who you are.
And I have experienced that. You're absolutely right, because it's in the stories that people are responding back to you. They're DMing you from the stories. They're taking action from the stories. So would you agree that, the other parts of the platform, your feed, your reels, your everything else, is really to drive people to take action in the stories? Yes?
I do say share a ton of value, show social proof on your page. And then you can direct them to your stories. Yes, I always say, like, in your call to actions, you can sell as well, but that's really where the value is. You got to share value, your storytelling, to get them to even want to be there. So it's building trust within your content and then really selling what you offer in your stories.
Yeah, I love that. Absolutely love it. Brilliant. So we've talked about growth, monetization, and targeting your ideal clients. Now, is it possible to scale your business using only Instagram? Now, one of the things our audience don't know is that before this, one of the first questions I asked you was, Katrina, I couldn't find your website, and you said, well, I don't have one, Pam. So it was quite intriguing for me because most people I speak to often have websites. But let's talk about what scaling looks like. So how have you used social media to the point where that's really the only source, that people can find you? Just talk me through just that, essentially.
Well, Instagram is a powerful, powerful platform when you're using it. But I do have other platforms that I do use, but they're all social channels. So another way that I do highly recommend is your email list. Build an email list. That is the same thing. Like, that's something that you actually own. So I do a lot of sales within there as well, but I have Stand With Me, which is a great link in bio, which is a whole website. So I haven't had the urge to create a website of my own, but Instagram is so powerful. When you build a community on there, that you don't really need to direct them anywhere else.
Katrina, I want to ask you a question. As you know, we are on a show called Wake to Wealth, and you've done a huge transition from events into being a coach on Instagram and a business coach. What was the moment for you when you realized that, oh my goodness, I'm able to wake up wealthier because of my skills and because of my expertise? And how did that feel? Can you walk us through that journey for a minute?
Well, I was a server for a long time because I was so scared to fully jump into my business coaching. So I'm going to say imposter syndrome was definitely a major thing I was struggling with. And the aha moment was when the pandemic happened and I finally jumped. I was like, this is it. This is my now or never. And I jumped in and I realized, wow, I can actually do this. I know enough. I am enough. And when the clients started coming to me, that was like my wealth moment. It didn't matter how much my income was. It was more of like, just that belief in myself that I can do this.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that you've talked about imposter syndrome, because that is one of the biggest things that's holding people back from, stepping into their wealth and waking up wealthier, because they're actually getting in their own way, and it's their belief system. Obviously, pandemic and things outside of our control will happen, but oftentimes our belief system is at the heart, at the foundation of, where we are with our finances and our money and wealth, essentially.
Yeah, I think a major thing for the imposter syndrome, if someone is listening and they haven't started because they're comparing themselves to maybe someone that's successful in their industry, is it does not matter how many people are in your industry. You have a unique story that someone's going to relate to, that's going to help you stand out.
Yeah, 100%. I completely agree. So we have come to wildcard moment, Katrina. So yes, for those watching or listening to the show for the first time, Katrina's laughing because she doesn't even know what wildcard is. And so, so I know. Don't be. It's fun. So wildcard is where Katrina's going to choose a number between 1 to 5. And whatever number she chooses, I'm going to read out a question that I had collected prior to this interview. And just so you all know, Katrina has no idea what these questions are. So Katrina, what number would you choose between 1 to 5?
Let's do 3.
Number 3. Okay. This is a good one for you. Okay, I like this. We've covered it slightly, which is brilliant. So it says, could we please share some tips on being consistent with content in Instagram stories?
Oh, in Instagram stories. Okay. With this, it's just show your life and hop on and connect with your audience. It doesn't need, people overthink of like what needs to go in stories. You don't, it just show time lapse of you working, show your client journey, show the behind the scenes of what you do on a daily basis. And people actually love that. People want to see that stuff. They want to see the authentic, raw moments. Show up with a messy bun in your hair. Like, show up in your PJs. People love that. You don't need to be put together in your stories. And this is what's going to also help you stay consistent when you're not all put together. And it makes you relatable. So just show up, show behind the scenes, and ask your audience. Ask your audience what they would love to see from you. That's the easiest way.
Yeah. I love that. I feel that for most people watching this, especially for myself, just hearing that, I feel like you just gave me permission.
We all need it.
Yeah, we all need it sometimes, right? You don't have to be all put together because that, I'm going to put up my hand. In fact, I'm going to put up both hands to say that's what holds me back. That, you know, the feeling like you have to be all polished and, but I like that. Just do you, however you are, come as you are, and let your audience see that.
They will love that. You're more relatable.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Thank you so much. I've learned a ton from you about how to scale and sell through reels and stories specifically. Katrina, if people wanted to find you, where is the best place to find you?
Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
Yes. Yeah.
All Katrina Le Bar.
Or Katrina Le Bar, wonderful. We will be linking that. Do you have, I know we talked about lead magnets earlier, do you have anything that you feel would give our audience a little bit further steps into your world and what you do that you would like to share?
Yeah, so I do have a few freebies. I'm going to be launching one really soon for Instagram growth, like checklist. But I will also, I'm working on right now how to start selling your stories. So that's going to be a course launching soon. And then in the new year, I'm going to be doing a 12-week mastermind if you want to help scale your business through Instagram.
Wonderful. So we will be reaching out to you, grab one of those links and sharing it with everybody. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. This has been such a blast. I feel like I have known you forever, Katrina, which is brilliant. Thank you so much for giving so much value. If you are watching or listening from wherever you are, go ahead and please find Katrina. Let her know that you found her on the Wake to Wealth show. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you once again for joining me on this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And before you go, take a look at the pieces of content on the screen right now where we walk you through various strategies to scale your business. So don't go away and jump into any of the cards on the screen right now.